Hello, my beautiful soul. Stories Victoria here. Welcome to today's video in this beautiful new moon, the sign of new beginnings in the sign of Virgo. And Virgo, my dear ones, for those of you that are familiar, Virgo is actually the sign of new beginnings itself, for it comes in with this purity. It is very grounded, it is pure, it is actually seeking to wander paths that no one has walked before. And this is what today's video is going to be about. And I want to share a little bit of my own experience, and then I'm going to tell you a beautiful story. So again, back to today's new moon, the sign of new beginnings. Not only is it a perfect moment for new beginnings because our physical body is resetting itself. Every organ gets like a reset. Our skin, our bones, our tissues, our glands, our, anything that makes up our physical being is being renewed if we allow it to. And actually we can enhance it by instructing our bodies. I instruct my physical body to renew itself, to replenish itself, to heal itself from anything I no longer need, so that I can be perfect health and pure joy. This is one of my affirmations today. Healing is a big theme today. And the new beginnings are inviting us to reflect upon our life and think about, what are the habits that I no longer need in my life? For example, do you want to quit smoking? If you want to quit smoking, if you're a smoker, then today would be the perfect time. If you want to stop drinking, today would be the perfect time. If you want to start hydrating more, or only hydrating with pure water and no longer sweet drinks or energy drinks or whatever, today would be the perfect moment. If you want to shift from industrial processed food to more organic, local, seasonal fruits and vegetables, today would be the perfect moment. So anything that requires a change, the energies today are supporting those changes, and they will make it easier for you. And also our physical healing, our physical body. So reflect upon your life. This is my first invitation for you today on this powerful new moon. What is it that you want to change in your life? And then think a little bit further, Now we talked about diet, we talked about habits. Maybe you want to stop eating sugar. Today would be the perfect moment. Maybe you want to start a new work, you want to start a new job, or whatever it is. Everything that you want to change in your life and that requires a new beginning is supported by today's energies. And I want to talk a little bit more about the energy, who we are, and how powerful we are. After all, this is called your personal empowerment channel. So let's talk about anything that is empowering for you as a human being, as a soul in a physical body walking this earth. And anything that requires healing in your body is also supported today. So as I said, you can start with powerful incantations, powerful affirmations that are helping your cells, because our cells are always renewing each other. Our cells are always renewing themselves. And by renewing themselves, we, you and I, are renewing each other. So our cells, as they are constantly renewing themselves, you actually can instruct them to renew themselves to healthy cells. Oftentimes the renewal of cells goes according to a default in our body, and we are not really consciously involved in the decision. But we are such powerful beings that we actually can instruct our bodies not only to drop karma. I talked about this in one of my past videos. You can instruct your body to drop all karma now. You can tell your body, I hereby decide to drop all karma. I let go of the past and I'm moving on fresh and free. This is one thing that you can do. And also with your cells, you can consciously instruct your cells to only recreate those that are healthy, those that bring you more well-being, those that bring you more energy, that make you look beautiful, that make you feel beautiful. Because after all, the way we look is the feeling, is the primordial feeling that we are nurturing within ourselves. So for me, it's joy, it's love, it's connection, it is happiness. And I believe that everyone who is cultivating those feelings as their primordial feelings, it will be visible in their appearance. So what I want to share with you today, dear ones, I want to come back again to our energy fields. We are powerful beings with an energy field that is not necessarily seen by physical eyes. I can see it, some of us can see it, but not everyone. It's not visible to everyone's eyes, but it can be measured. And it actually is a little bit like a torus. It flows a little bit like an 8. You can imagine it as an 8. So let's say it's flowing through our heart up to the right side, down to the ground on the right side, coming up through our hearts, up to the left side, down to the ground, to the left side, coming up through our heart again. So it's kind of like an 8 that is constantly flowing out of ourselves. And the story goes, the story is the story of a young man who decides to walk a new path in his life, who decides to wander paths that no one has wandered before. And he starts doing this. And of course, he has his angels on his side. For every one of us that is going a way that is out of the norm, I want to believe we have an extra bundle of angels around us, guiding us along the way, because we are doing work that will create new paths for humanity to be more conscious, to be kinder to themselves and to others, and to all forms of life, not only human life. So this young man starts to wonder, and there is an angel next to him telling him, I feel that you are carrying a lot of baggage with you, you know, and this baggage will not let you walk the way you need to walk in order to create this new path. Let me take your baggage from you. And the young man backs up and says, no, leave me in peace. Do not touch my baggage. And he continues to walk, and the angels are never angry about the answers we are giving. They're here to help, but their love is unconditional. So the angel takes what the man said as his free will and continues to protect him, continues to walk along this young man until the young man gets into a storm. And for those of you that know the story, you already know that the story is kind of meant in a metaphorical way. Baggage is not necessarily physical baggage, although we can, when you look at a human being that is carrying a lot of physical baggage, let's say you're having a heavy bag on your left shoulder, you will feel that your left shoulder is lower or even higher because your muscles are retracted in order to carry that bag than the right shoulder. So there is like a wobbling energy in your being when you are carrying baggage, whether it is physical or spiritual, let's say emotional, mental baggage, you know. And of course, in this story, it is meant as a mental baggage, emotional baggage. We can call mental and emotional baggage anything that we haven't healed yet, any grudge that we hold against people that maybe have hurt us, maybe they have betrayed us, maybe there is someone that we can't forgive, maybe there is an institution that we can't forgive. I mean, I have known someone, and he had a teacher that didn't like him, and he actually threw a key once into his face, and that damaged one of his front teeth, and because of that he had to had a false teeth all his life. And because he was constantly seeing this tooth, he could never really forget this teacher, and he carried this anger against this teacher in his being all along. And so this, for example, is a perfect this is a perfect example of energy, of baggage that you're carrying within yourselves, within your memory, because we are all energy. So when this energy is not pure, it is not loving, it is not joyful, but there is still fear, or there is still non-forgiveness, or there is still negative emotion because of this and this and this that have happened, you know, this will create baggage. And in the end, the energy that I just described will kind of like flow in a wobbly way. It won't really be a harmonious eight, a harmonious torus flowing out of our body, which will create imbalances, not only physically. And this is why yoga is such a great tool. I love doing yoga because when I do right side, left side, you can always see which side is a little more wobbly than the other. And so you can rebalance it. Excuse me, you can rebalance it with your breath then. So this young man decides to walk along and still carrying his baggage that is having him in a wobbly energy, and he gets into a storm. And a storm is so strong that it threatens the man, and it almost destroys him, because he is losing its balance, because he has his baggage and he is walking wobbly. And at one point he's becoming aware, oh, I need to drop this baggage or else I cannot survive. And so he decides to drop the baggage, the emotional baggage, which translates a little bit into unlearning everything that we have learned, forgetting everything that we have been taught until now. And this is a good thing, dear ones. It's not something, you know, we don't have to feel like, oh, but this person put so much effort and energy in teaching me this, and it wouldn't be fair to forget what it has taught me. It's not meant in a degrading way towards those that have done effort to teach you something beautiful. It is for you to start fresh, to start new, to start with what you know now as an adult, as a spiritually ascended being. And that's who we all are, because the solar flares this year, and the solar flares, I mean, they have never been as strong as this year. And for those of you, I have talked about this in my past videos, we can feel the heat of the sun, can't you? And the sun represents our consciousness. So the solar flares, in the end, what are they working on? Our consciousness. They're working on upgrading our DNA. They're working on upgrading ourselves so that we can become the master of ourselves, of our lives. So the young man drops his baggage, becomes the master, and walks in balance, creating new paths. And you know, don't think now that it is a revenge of the universe because he didn't listen to the angel, he had to go through the storm. No, it was actually his decision when he decided to walk a path, to create paths where no one has walked before. It was his decision to actually drop his baggage. And the angel was just reminding him to drop it along the way when he no longer needed. So to finish my message for you today, what is the baggage that you can drop today? What is it that you have been carrying with yourself for a long, long time that you no longer need? Remember that it's not punishing the other person. Whenever you have something within you, whenever you remember something that you can't forgive, it is not hurting the other person, but it is hurting yourself, because it is your baggage, and it is causing your cells not to, you know, when they reproduce, they will reproduce in this wobbly way. And maybe this can create imbalances. It can create blockages in your body. It can create diseases at one point. You know, Drop everything that is no longer yours. And remember that love is who you are and fear is what you learned. So whatever it is that you need to let go today, let it go. I hope this helped you, my dear, beautiful being. Do something today that you have never done before. Maybe you have never painted. Maybe you have never played with your left arm if you're a right-hander, you know. Maybe you have never written with your left hand if you're a right writer. You know, do something today that you've never done before and just enjoy the newness of yourself that you're creating. Remember to use these powerful energies today for your advantage, dear ones. I am wishing you a beautiful new moon in Virgo, the sign of new beginnings, the sign of pureness, joy, and love. Walk the path of truth. And so it is. Bye for now.